Okay, so here's my app for challenge number 5 for the subject Information Technologies. And starting with the cover that I put, here it is. I put it, welcome to the Tech Millennium Wellness Ecosystem Quiz, like topic for this challenge or quiz. Then I put the image of the wellness ecosystem from Tech Millennium, and at the bottom the start image. And when I click on the start image, it initializes this animation of the loading. Its duration is 4 seconds and 4.5 seconds. Then when it finishes, it activates the questions arrangement, that it has the number of the questions, question, and the text box where you can put your answer, and here are the options. So here upside I put the buttons, the next button, the info button, and the help button. The help button, when I click it, it brings me information about this, how to contest or how to solve. The info is for about me and the purpose of this challenge. Then it has the next button that only gets enabled when your answer is correct. So if you have an incorrect answer, it doesn't appear. And there are 5 questions. 5 questions. Here it is. It just appears one question, but there are 5 questions. Okay, I moved this. Oh, okay, then I solved it. And there are 5 questions, and when I finish, I forgot to mention that I put the images of the happy face and the sad face for the correct answers and the incorrect answers. The final arrangement is for the results with the number of correct answers, and the qualification, it puts. Okay, then I think I moved this. Okay, then I correct it. And the check button. No, this no. Okay, the check button. And at the block part, I put it this. Oh, I discovered this function that it comes from procedures, and it does the same thing when I call from it. So starting with here, when the screen one initialized, the cover arrangement changes to true, and the loading arrangement visible changes to false, like these other arrangements that I don't need at the first. I only need the image of the wellness ecosystem and the topic. Then when I click on the start button here, the cover arrangement changes to false, and the loading starts. The image is the animation. Also, the screen background changes to white. I had at the screen a custom color that is a little bit gray, but it is changed to white for the images, because this image, it is a white square, and if it rotates, all the square rotates, and if it's from the same color of the background, it doesn't see like a square, it just see the blue of the image. Then the duration clock, 4.5 seconds gets enabled, and the loading clock, this clock of a timer interval of 1 enables, and every time it gets finished, it does the rotation of the image 2 degrees, and then when the duration clock of 4.5 seconds finished, the loading arrangement changes to false, then the tab arrangement changes to true. This is the tab arrangement with it is upside of the questions, then the next button changes to false that you can see when you are on a question. The question arrangement changes to true, and the duration clock timer enable to false. Then this, the check arrangement, changes to true. That goes downside with the button, and the images of happy and sad face changes to false. Also, the check button changes to his background color to another gray, I think. And here, this is the first question when it says who's this at this that I was here, I think. Okay, let me move this here. When this Q number label text says first question, the global variable answer number 1, the original, its text is empty. It changes to no, sorry. It converts the text to down case in case if you put here a minus b, it changes to a minus b, like this, to check the answer if it is correct or not at the text box. And then the variable success, or you can call it as correct answers, changes to the same but with +1, and it does this function correct answer. It changes the happy image to visible to true, the correct and incorrect label text to correct, to say I'm gonna show you where is here. I think it's in which I put it. Okay, after the images that it doesn't see. Okay, so it is the text that changes to correct in case you have a correct answer, and the next button gets enabled, but the text box gets enabled, get to false, so you can write another answer. And the check button also changes its color and its enabled, so you can click again on it and book the app. And if the set image is visible, the set face, then it changes to false. That's just for if you get first incorrect answer and you then get the correct answer, it changes the face, swap the face. And if you do not put the answer that is B on the text box here, if you don't put it, you can, sorry, the variable does if you put it wrong, that it doesn't says B. For example, if you put C, then the variable mistakes or the incorrect answers gets +1. The and then the procedure incorrect answer does its action. I don't know how to say it's appear. Let's say the image, this and this and this, blah 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 blah. It's the same thing. I think if you had an incorrect answer, the sad image or the sad face appears, and the text of the correct or incorrect gets incorrect. So you know there at that point you have the incorrect answer, and then the text box get clean. Then